大家好，我是康云. Hello everyone, I'm Kang Yun, aka Cricket, aka Cloud, and welcome back to Chang'e's journey through Boletaria. Last time, we spent a good deal of the episode talking to some more NPCs, discussing the names, the Chinese names of certain items and spells. We went to the Lord's Path and picked up the wooden catalyst, the winged spear, and saved Ostrava once again. And then we upgraded our piercing sword to +2. So it now has an attack rating of 99. This time we'll be going to the Archstone of the Guangfu Junzhu, which translates to minor sovereign or minor monarch. So the Archstone of the minor king or monarch. And the name of the first area is Duanzaochang, which means forging, the forging city or forging, I guess they call it forging grounds in the English translations. These names didn't have areas. These areas didn't have names in the original that I recall. Maybe they did. A little bit longer load screen there than we're used to. So yeah, this area is quite a bit different. And these lizards are actually weak to pierce, I do believe, and it dropped 8 shards of heartstone for us, which will be useful for our shield and maybe some other weapons, but for the most part we'll be needing sharpstone, and we do want quite a bit of sharpstone. It's cool that we can get a view of this dead lizard. And you can see the crystals coming off of it that no longer are glowing. And I think you can see its eye. Yeah, you can see its eye there. That's cool. I like the redesign of those guys. Crystal lizards in this game function, I think that's the first one we've killed actually. They function a little bit different than they do in the Dark Souls series. In the original game, if the lizard disappeared, it was just gone. You couldn't get it back. But the lizard got one spawn count +1 for every boss you've killed in that level. So because we haven't killed another boss in this level yet, if we were to leave and come back here, that lizard wouldn't be there. But once we kill a boss, it'll be there again. Now, in this game, if the lizard dies from falling off a cliff, or it dies from you killing it, but you don't loot it, you lose that spawn count. But if it just disappears of its own will, you know, by itself, you can still get that spawn and kill it, which is a nice touch because they didn't. It didn't used to be like that. So from the beginning of the level, we can see right away that this is like an abandoned mining town, and we can see up ahead there are some enemies throwing boulders. I'm assuming they're doing so because they see us, but they also could be just mindlessly doing it. And there's a crane. And something that they've added in the remake are the cranes, and this whole section over here of like a second area. This area is basically where Boletaria got all its ore and it used to make weapons and armor and such. And we can talk to an NPC right away when we get here. This guy.
Hello there. Souls, souls. I trade fine goods for souls.
And his name is the Filthy Man in English. And I don't know those characters. There's a lot of characters here that I don't know. But not going to worry too much about that. I don't want to bog this down by just looking up a bunch of characters I don't know, so I apologize.
Our little town. It's a nice wee place. All those lizard-eyed townsfolk are busy tinkering with stone and don't bother with old folk like me. Makes life rather easy for me. I can get away with anything. I always knew there was a god. Thanks for looking out for me.
So he's a bit... well, he's taking advantage of the situation. He's a bit,
Oh, have you heard about sparkling lizards? Not easy to catch, but they've got some fine stones. And I know where one of their nests is. Oh, I'm sorry. I can't give it away. I always knew there was a god. Thanks for looking out for me.
So another reference to God. So we'll hear more about this God throughout the playthrough. So what he sells, Crescent Moon for 150, same price as Bold1. He sells grindstones, Ed's sharpening stone, grindstone. He does sell shards of hard and sharp stone for 500 souls apiece. They position him so close. They position him right here for a good reason, and I'll get to that in a moment. But he's very useful in this regard, mainly for these items. He sells a pickaxe. Do not buy this. You can get one very shortly in the level. He sells a new item. These are 10,000 use medicine elixir is what that's called. Wan Neng Yao. But this is basically an item that when you use it, it restores your stamina more quickly. It wasn't in the original game.
You want to play? You've got to pay. Don't you agree?
All right. If you come over here, you can see that there's a lift that's not working, and we cannot roll through there. You can't get down there. But you can hear the hammering of a blacksmith from below. And if you haven't guessed, that's going to be very important coming up. And as you would guess, you will need hard stone and sharpstone for upgrading, which you will get plenty of in this level, but for future purposes, because you use so much shards of hard and sharp stone when you upgrade basic equipment, he is here, I think, mainly because he's very close to the blacksmith. You can come up here. I mean, he's staked himself out pretty well, you got to admit. Like, he knows people are going to be needing the stones, and so he's made camp right by the blacksmith, where people will be using this stuff he sells. And he says he knows where the crystal lizards are to get the stones. So there's a pattern to how these guys throw these things, and you just want to wait for that second one. Then you can cross. Now, if you are quick about this, you can run here and get some sticky white slime, or white colored slime. as it's called in Chinese. This was originally called sticky white stuff in the original game. Yeah, it's more or less the same translation. White colored sticky substance, sticky slime. This is a crank you'll want to turn. When you first come in here, you'll see that to your left is... It's pretty dark, but you can see a guy with a pickaxe over there, but we're gonna turn this crank to activate this lift, and we'll want to get on and take it up. And there is an enemy here that will be using fire attacks on us, so we want to equip ourselves for that. In case we take a hit. You see how much less damage we take? 'Cause that would almost one-shot me if we can have a spell fight with him. And we can get in close and stab him to death. You can fight those guys melee, and if you do, they do have a close range fire spell that will hit you for a lot of damage, so you want to be mindful of that. These guys are very slow, but they're very weak to piercing attacks. They're also extremely weak to magic. And if you come out here, you can get a crushing battle axe. Now this weapon is good for strength builds. It's upgraded down the crushing path, and it's +1, and it's got no dex scaling. Crushing is a weapon upgrade path that is what you want for strength builds. So if you are going for a strength build, this is a great weapon for you to come and get right away at the beginning of the game. Kind of like how I went and grabbed that wooden catalyst right away. The thing is you need gray stone or dull stone, as they're called in Chinese, to upgrade it, which you can, I think, get a few in this part, but you're mostly going to have to get that in the next part of Stonefang. And if you take this lift all the way down, you'll get a Stone of Ephemeral Eyes, so it's worth coming down here for that. And we'll want to get back on. And I don't think I missed anything up there, but I just want to double check. Yeah, no, we got it all. There was, I think it was just some grass. There's some grass and maybe a soul. If you're careful, you can execute that and roll onto the platform to make that go quickly, but it's very easy, as you saw, to almost overshoot it and fall to your death. So you want to be careful about that. Maybe not. If you would rather be cautious, just wait. These guys are basically minding their own business. They're scale. Those are the scale miners I referred to earlier when I was pointing out the scales on Bold One. It's not really made clear the background of these enemies. If they're just mindlessly working because they're soul starved because of the demons, or if they are humanoid but they're not quite human, and and backstabs will one-shot them if you have. Oh, I should point out that if you have the mail breaker, if you come here, and the pickaxe guys have yellow eyes, and the ones with yellow eyes will alert you very quickly and will attack you. And you can parry them. And the mail breaker does good critical damage, as do all piercing swords. But you see, I have a rapier or an upgraded mail breaker, and I can one-shot these guys with a backstab. So if you come here with a weapon that is not a rapier or a mail breaker, or if you don't have a magic attack, say you come here with a slashing weapon like a scimitar or a falchion, like you pick a wanderer, or maybe you have a battle axe or a mace, these guys are really resistant to physical attacks other than pierce, and so you'll have a much harder time killing them than you would now, because I killed him, all the miners will be alert to me. See how they all are starting to walk towards me now? But we want to be careful because up ahead there are some pots that guy had a bag, and he will drop a lot of treasure. And the guys with the bags don't respawn, and they always drop a set amount of stones. But up ahead there's some pots that will break, and behind them are 3 vicious attack dogs that are very nasty enemies to fight. So we want to be careful how we approach this. We do want to heal. See, that dog only hit me twice and it did half my health. So yeah, you want to be really careful. It looks like they're weak to magic because I could one-shot them with my my wooden catalyst. There's another one of those fat officials up there, and there's one down here as well. We'll want that flame resistance ring again. To do battle with him here. I'll try to showcase what he does in melee. When he laughs, he's going to do his yeah, in melee you see he would take much more damage from his what do you call that? Riding crop. Okay, we got him. And we'll want to swap back the fragrant ring to get our MP back. Pick up some more stones, sharp stone chunk and hard stone chunk, and some clear stone. The officials always drop full moon grass, so they're very useful to kill, though they have a lot of health. And they can drop a gold coin. Oh, he was doing a jumping attack. The pickaxe guys are the most aggressive of all the miner types. And they're the most dangerous for that reason. We can't get a bead on that official up there. So ooh. Oh. Usually that pickaxe guy sees you, but I guess the one from further up the way heard me and jumped down, which is why Oh, that was a weird glitch. That's kind of sucks because the pickaxe guys drop sharpstone is what I need. And he fell through the floor. Oh well. But my goal is to get this rapier to +6, for which we'll need plenty of sharpstone shards and large shards. And here is the pickaxe or the cross axe. And we'll want to cast Water Veil again. And if you run across here, you gotta be careful because it will fall like you just saw. But it's okay, I can demonstrate what not to do. But there's a narrow beam you can run on, and it will give us more time for our MP to regenerate. But there's this narrow beam here, and you want to try to get around him and backstab him if you can. There's more space up here. Yeah, that's... Ooh. That's the, I forget what it's called, but it's the fire spell that hits up close. He is quite dangerous. Those officials are are easily the toughest enemies in this area, and they'll be the toughest enemies you've encountered thus far. These miners haven't aggroed to us. The official, there he is. He drops his gloves. That's new to the remake. But if you do backstab these guys, it won't alert. If you backstab them and one-shot them, it won't alert the other ones to you. So it's worth doing. That one had a bag, so it should drop a bunch of ore for us. And they all drop set ores. The ones with the bags do. Missed that parry. I want to unequip that. Some Ed's grindstones. For whatever reason, I don't remember those being there in the original, but I might be wrong. That's all hard stone. I think this guy drops clear stone, yep. I remember that from speedrunning. He was the miner you would always want to kill because you would make a quality weapon. If you see that phantom there, that's a developer phantom showing you to pull that lever, which allows you to progress. So that taken care of, we have to drop back down again. And now we can continue up. I think there's a soul item here. Yeah. Nameless soldier's soul. Nameless brave soldier's soul. And then over here we encounter our first fire lizard. Now they're very weak to magic, and if you get close to them, they're just touching them can damage you. Now this is a shard of meltstone. German spy advised not picking this up. We'll pick it up just for the sake of picking it up, but it's what you can use to basically undo any upgrades on a weapon if you were, for whatever reason, wanting to reset. You can see a miner there that we can take out from range. But we can't go that way just yet. We'll have to come up here. More half moon grass. And then we come to a area. This is a molten slag where they're melting down the ore to be made into weapons, and it attracts these lizards here. And you see how much less MP Soul Arrow takes up or consumes. Just an elixir. How much less MP it takes up as compared to the Flame Toss spell. Over here we have another miner type that has flaming hot swords. Ooh, yeah. They hit quite hard. So you do want to take them out. And we have another new one. This guy's got a hammer. And he can actually drop greystone, which is what you need for the crushing weapons. But I think there's only a few of these enemies. There's another one. Each of the miners drops a different type of stone, apart from the bag miners, which, like I said, don't respawn. That was all hardstone. And that was a sharpstone chunk and large shards of hardstone. So what we really need is the sharpstone, of which we have 9. We've only gotten 1 since we've killed that crystal lizard that dropped 8. So hopefully we'll get some more. I may have to farm, but I want to get my rapier to +6, ideally by the time I leave this or finish this level or move on. So we can come down here then and activate this lift, which I pointed out earlier. If we stop off here, we can get some more clear stone. Clear stone is good if you're making quality weapons, which quality weapons scale equally with strength and dex, which we are not. So it's pretty much useless to us. But if we come down here, we encounter another blacksmith.
I haven't seen you around these parts. What does it matter? You need a blacksmith? Show me your steel. If not, head straight for the door.
And this is the Blacksmith Ed. Can repair our gear, and we should be able to upgrade this. Yeah, get it to +3, and we are short 1 shard. We can go buy that from the guy upstairs though. But you see, once it's +3, we can, and this is something unique about Demon Souls, is like each upgrade path has a set level you have to get the weapon to. So at +3, and we wouldn't have been able to see this with Baldwin. This is what I was talking about with Ed being able to upgrade down all paths. So at +3, you can make a rapier, quality, mercury, or tearing. Or not tearing, fatal rather, I'm sorry. Fatal adds more critical damage but lowers the base attack of the weapon. So it's good if you're only going to use it for backstabs and riposts. Mercury adds poison, but and it keeps its dex scaling but lowers the strength. It's decent. It's a decent upgrade path for dex builds if you're wanting to have a poison weapon, because poison isn't actually poison's a mercury +5 weapon is the strongest poison you can inflict in this game, so it's worth having maybe at least one mercury weapon, because there are no weapons in Demon Souls that do innate poison damage, so you have to make one if you want to do that. Otherwise you have the other ways of inflicting poison are there are poison throwing knives called kunai and rotten arrows, and there's a spell, poison cloud. And then quality is just what I was talking about. You see it gets both D in dex and strength. But we wanted to get it to +4, but we're short 1 shard. We can upgrade our buckler, however, with all that. Yeah, we have 26 shards of hardstone. Might as well. I can't think of a weapon we're going to be using right away that requires hardstone, so... And we're short 1 large shard of... So we can already get this thing to +5, which gets its stability up to 53, which that's the main reason why you upgrade a shield.
All done. Then be gone. I work alone.
You don't have to use the buckler. I'm just using it because I like using the equipment that my character starts with. But if you were playing along with me and you chose to do this, you know, you could do it. But if you're wanting to block more attacks and play more defensively, I would recommend upgrading a shield that has 100% physical and higher stability. This shield is actually better at parrying. Is the main reason for using the buckler.
Oh, hello. Here to make a deal.
And we'll buy some sharp stone. We can buy just enough.
What could be a blacksmith?
I don't think we'll have enough. Oh, we have just enough. And now we need 5 shards and 2 large shards, so...
All done.
So... oh, I forgot to talk to him. I want to talk to him, I'm sorry.
What be your need? If it be a blacksmith, then show me your steel. If not, then head straight for the door. I'm busy. I'm not here to chit-chat. Forging a weapon strengthens it and alters its character. Ores are transmogrified spirits. Their presence blesses the weapon. Ores are transmogrified spirits.
Okay, so he doesn't have much to say right now, but he will...
Waste my time.
He will have more things to say after we beat this level's boss, I believe. But we do want to get a better look at him with the photo mode. And you see he has much more scales on him, and he's wearing his gauntlet on the right, on his right hand. I think Baldwin has his on his left. And it's noteworthy that these blacksmiths, if you do kill them, they drop unique fist weapons called the Fists of God. You can get those without killing them, so it's definitely not ever really worth killing these guys. I like how you can see all the different things on his blacksmith's belt. They really did a good job. We can see his tools here. Different hammers he uses, and then different things on the wall. He has this like a steel shield up there, a great axe, some other shields. There's some wooden shields, soldier shields, a heater shield. And this looks like his bed where he sleeps. And what is this? Like a just dark, looks like some sort of cloth. Yeah, that's. Is it a blind, or I'm not sure what that is intended to be. Some sort of tapestry that's just like so dirty and worn over time. Some logs for the fire. Yeah, so that's Blacksmith Ed. Some more weapons here. A war scythe, a crescent axe, a morning star, a broken sword. Is that a shovel? It's like the handle of like a shovel in the coal. Pretty cool details that they have here. So we can continue on, and we should be doing 118 now, whereas before we were at 99 on our rapiers. So that'll be a lot nicer to have that extra damage. And the boss of this level is weak to both magic and pierce attacks, so looks like he dropped some hard stone for us. I do want to point out something here. You can cast Water Veil and equip the Ring of Flame Resistance, and if you... Oh, I thought you could. I thought you could. You might have to have more health to do it. But it is possible to roll through there if you have high enough fire defense or enough HP. But I think we just don't have enough HP was why. But it is definitely possible to roll through there and not die. But this is actually okay because it gives us a chance at getting more sharp stone from the enemies. And you see now that we're doing... Well, we still three-shot them, which isn't great. But we are doing more damage. Not many souls we lost. And we're in soul form, so it wasn't a big deal. We were very close, which was part of why I was willing to risk doing that. Ooh. Looks like an R2, R1 will get him. Looks like his AI hasn't recognized us somehow, and he just like... I thought he was going to attack me, but he wasn't actually doing an attack, and it occurs to me we should be wearing the Providential Ring for killing those pickaxe guys, because they drop the sharp stone. I think there's two large shards of hardstone. Usually I come here wanting hardstone because I have a build that needs that. And we got a shard of Spiderstone, that's not bad. Spiderstone is used to upgrade bows, which we will be using on this build. Now to our left is a lizard, but we don't want to aggro that lizard because it drops Spiderstone. Well, we can, if we're quick about it, we can kill it. And yeah, we got a chunk. We got a chunk and some shards, so that's not bad. Yeah, they're weak to pierce. So we were able to kill it pretty quickly. Plus I upgraded this rapier. And if you have to run across those boards. If you walk, you will fall. And once you come across here, you can't get back the same way, so you have to come down. But here you get the Great Club and some soul items. The Great Club, it could be useful for builds that have strength, like strength builds. It looks really cool, but you cannot upgrade it, as I said, because you cannot upgrade wooden weapons. We don't have the strength requirement to actually wield it, so it's not very useful for us. It's not useful at all for us, really, but it might be fun on some builds, like if you want to come here early and then if you may be going to the Shrine of Storms, where there are skeletons that are weak to blunt damage. That weapon does do a decent amount of damage. It can be somewhat useful on low levels, but it's quickly outclassed by stronger weapons. Now, you didn't maybe see it, but there are miners there that if they see you, they'll throw boulders at you, which is how I got hit before. So you can brute force that. But I'm not very good at aiming the spells. Free aiming them, so you can roll through those barrels and come up here and pick them off. Pick them off from above or from range here, and then if you walk over here and drop down, there's a soul item, and then down here you get the steel shield, which is another large shield, and it might be the first large shield you'll get. It has the same no, it actually has 70 fire. So it's 2 units lighter than the purple flame shield at 6 rather than 8, and but it has the same stability. It just has less fire block, but it has 100 physical. So if you're wanting and it has 18 strength requirement, and you can upgrade this. So this is a decent shield if you want a large shield, but I prefer the purple flame shield for how it looks, and it's better fire block. But this does weigh less and require less strength, so this is likely a shield you'll want to use if you're not wanting to parry, but you do want to have good block. It will come in very much in handy against the boss of this level. Take all these guys out. And we got some large hard stone. And we want to get our MP back. And we have to continue up this way. Now up ahead we can see more of these flaming lizards. And you want to be very careful when fighting them, like I was saying. Yeah, just touching him, I took a little damage. There are some dogs down there. I think they heard me though, but usually you can see them from here, and if you're good you can snipe them, but I think I aggroed them to me. And the thing is we don't want those dogs attacking us while we're engaging with these lizards. Yeah, and you can see the body design on these lizards is quite cool as well. Different than the crystal ones, but they have like a spot on their back where they're literally glowing coals. Woo. That was really sticky situation. That thing would have killed me. I didn't see. Here's the dog I was talking about. There's 3 of them. Dogs you want to block and let them hit your shield and then retaliate. Here, and looks like we can one-shot those dogs. This spell. Well, we established that earlier in the level. And there is one more dog. We get a shard of dragon stone. If you haven't guessed this or haven't noticed somehow, this level is where you get a ton of upgrades. So it's not all of them, but the reason why you want to come to this level usually right away is to get upgrade stones to upgrade your weapons. Now, that may depend on what kind of weapon you're trying to upgrade, but most weapons will require you to upgrade them at some point. Like, I'm planning on making this rapier crescent because that will allow it to scale with my magic. But I need to get it to +6 first, which is why I'm coming here. And if we come down here, we'll encounter more miners. Now these are there's more pickaxe guys down here, so hopefully they'll drop some sharpstone for me. Ooh. Try that again, but better. Missed the parry. There's another pickaxe guy. Ooh. That hurt. I think he hit me during vulnerability frames. Okay, so we killed all the pickaxe guys. We can go back. We got 4 shards of sharpstone. That's not bad. We need more large shards now, though. And then we want to turn this lever here. And that allows us to now cross where the molten slag was, because now it's hardened. I think, yeah, we still need one more large shard of sharpstone. So this is where I was before, and these items weren't visible. Oh, there's one more large shard. Yeah, we'll go upgrade our sword again, and we get a ring of poison resistance here, which is useful for another level. But there's no poison you encounter in this part of the game. Oh, and there's a dull stone shard. In English they call it gray stone, but that's for crushing weapons, so I wouldn't say that's a great place to farm necessarily, but if you're just wanting to get a few shards to get your crushing battle axe to plus 2, you might want to farm those guys, but honestly it's much easier to farm in the next part of the level, and there's more opportunities to get those stones.
What be your need? If it be a blacksmith, then show me your steel. If not, then head straight for the door.
And I think we should be able to... Oh no, I forgot we needed one more shard.
Don't waste
Wait,
money.
do we have enough large shards? Let me make sure we do before I...
If it be a blacksmith.
Oh, we did have enough. We have more than enough, but we do need another shard. The thing about this level is the enemies, while dropping a lot of stones, drop very few souls. So,
If it be a blacksmith.
okay, we need 5 more shards and 3 more large shards.
All done.
That shouldn't be too hard to get. I think if we can't get it, we probably won't get it in this level, but we'll be able to get it pretty shortly after the boss in the next part of the level. And if we have to, we'll just buy the shards from the filthy man. But we're almost all done here. I put our weapon at 127. And if we come up this way, we can look at the area around us. We're getting closer down deeper into the mine. Cast water veil here. Put on the... No, not that ring. The ring of flame resistance. Because there's another one of these guys. Ooh, he exploded those, yeah. You want to be careful of that. I thought I broke them. Okay, and our rapier is quite a bit stronger now, so we can take him out like that. But it was good we did have that fire defense, otherwise that might have killed us. And we get a stone of ephemeral eyes. And he did drop his gloves, the official's gloves, which we're not going to use. And and this one dropped the trousers. I think those are set drops. We do need those, but that's something that comes into play later, so... You see now we're entering deeper into this mine. And there's a sudden mood shift, and you start to see spider webs. Now if you run through there, that guy will shove a boulder on you. Okay. And that's the last enemy that we have to deal with. But I think this is going to have to do it for this episode, guys, because I'm just about out of time. So, I hope all of you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you next time on Chang'e's journey through Boletaria. Umbasa.